Also new tonight, we have our first look at the explosion at the Georgia Guidestones. The GBI just releasing this video hours ago, and you can see there is a bright flash and then part of the structure explodes. The Guidestones are in Elbert County and were built back in 1979, but no one knows who put them up.
The Georgia Guidestones was a granite monument that stood in Elbert County, Georgia, United States from 1980 to 2022. It was 19 feet 3 inches tall and made from 6 granite slabs weighing a total of 237,746 pounds. The structure was sometimes referred to as an American Stonehenge. The monument's creators believed that there was going to be an upcoming social, nuclear, or economic calamity, and they wanted the monument to serve as a guide for humanity in the world which would exist after it. Controversial from its time of construction, it ultimately became the subject of conspiracy theories which alleged that it was connected to Satanism.
One night, I got a phone call and said they was going to sacrifice one of my cows.
All that ended July 6th of last year when someone blew up the Guidestones.
So I was asleep and I heard it and it rocked my house.
According to official news reports, on the morning of July 6, 2022, the Guidestones were heavily damaged in a bombing and were dismantled later that day. In late July, Elberton Mayor Daniel Graves announced plans to rebuild the monument. However, on August 8th, the Elbert County Board of Commissioners voted to donate the remains of the monument to the Elberton Granite Association and return the 5 acres of land on which the monument was erected to its previous owner. The construction of the Georgia Guidestones is also cloaked in mystery. At the time in Georgia, it was required that you put down your legal name in order to have a monument commissioned. However, in June of 1979, a man using the pseudonym Robert C. Christian approached the Elberton Granite Finishing Company on behalf of, quote, a small group of loyal Americans, unquote, and commissioned the structure. R.C. Christian explained that the stones would function as a compass, calendar, and clock, and should be capable of, quote, withstanding catastrophic events, unquote. The man reportedly used the pseudonym as a reference to the Christian religion.
And you take pictures of it, you get a blue orb. When you put your head down in there like this and look through it, a ball of energy comes through that sucker, man.
A man who identified himself as Robert Christian published a book titled Common Sense Renewed in 1986, which described the ideology of the Guidestones. The author wrote, I am the originator of the Georgia Guidestones and the sole author of its inscriptions. I have had the assistance of a number of other American citizens in bringing the monument into being. We have no mysterious purposes or ulterior motives. We seek common sense pathways to a peaceful world, without bias for particular creeds or philosophies. What was the public's reaction? Well, the monument was controversial even before it was unveiled.
Some say it was some kind of Satan worship shrine and it ought to be torn down. And I've had others say it was the holiest spot on earth, that the Holy Grail was buried under there. Some people think it's a beacon to UFOs.
Some locals referred to its construction as, quote, the devil's work, unquote. A local minister warned that occult groups would visit the site and that a sacrifice was imminent. A 2009 Wired article also noted that sandblaster Charlie Clamp spent hundreds of hours on the etchings, during which time he was constantly distracted by strange music and disjointed voices. In 2008, the stones were defaced with aerosol paint and graffiti with slogans such as, quote, death to the New World Order, unquote. The Georgia Guidestones may be known to some as the American Stonehenge, but I like to call them the new 10 Commandments that were destroyed. In case you want to know what these 10 Commandments say, I'll start at number 10 and work my way back to number 1. Number 10. Be not a cancer on the earth. Leave room for nature. Leave room for nature. Number 9. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Number 8, balance personal rights with social duties. Number 7, avoid petty laws and useless officials. Number 6, let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Number 5, protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Number 4, rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. Number 3, unite humanity with a living new language. Number 2, guide reproduction wisely, improving fitness and diversity. And number 1, which is most controversial, maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature.